Welcome to Brook and Bramble Farm Podcast
with Chris
and Micah,
where we talk about budget homesteading,
homemaking,
and whatever else is on our minds.
Hello again.
Hello, it's Chris and Micah.
Here we are.
Brook and Bramble Farm.
Today we're going to talk about, are we crunchy?
Are we?
That was a really loud swallow. Chris is drinking.
Yes.
Okay.
Gulp. Okay.
Well, first of all, we should explain what crunchy means in case anyone doesn't know.
It means so there are things which are soft. Mm-hmm. Crunchy is like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Crispy.
Perfect.
Oh, you didn't mean like that.
No, I didn't.
I'm going to let you explain it because you probably have a better idea of what it is.
I don't even really know how to explain it. It's I think holistically minded. But I don't think holistic's even the right word because that's more like you look at the whole picture of something.
Right.
I think it's like you're trying to strip all the toxins out of your life.
And let's be fair, there are levels of crunchy. There's conspiracy theory tinfoil hat crunchy.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's the other...
Weather is fake and...
It comes to a point where it's not crunchy anymore. It's just a conspiracy theorist.
Paranoid. Yeah,
paranoia versus crunchiness. And I think those lines get blurred the further towards paranoia you go.
I actually do think people really struggle with paranoia in the crunchy community.
No, to be fair, I think that the food industry and the health industry
there is cause for concern.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they have not engendered a whole lot of trust.
For sure. So
I can see where the conspiracy theorists have ammunition.
There is cause for concern.
Yeah, and that's what gives them ammunition. Is like, what else aren't they telling you?
Right. You actually could, if you go down enough rabbit holes, and you don't, and you just want, nothing's holding you back from.
Right.
Total fear.
Right.
You could easily slip into that.
Yeah, and you end up...
I'm not saying you, I'm saying people.
You're saying me personally.
You're a little bit... You have a tendency to be... No, you don't. I was going to say that we're kind of scrunchy.
Yeah, we're not really
So silky is the opposite of crunchy. I don't know who was making up these words.
I know, we should just come up with one on our own.
Crunchy started... I remember people being called crunchy, granola hippies.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. There's levels of crunchy, and there's
but I think it's way different from that now.
Right, and I think there's two main. Maybe I'm way off base here because I'm not in on the cool
it's
terms.
Fine. Tell us your
the two
theory.
levels of crunchy. There's not levels, but two categories of crunchy.
Okay.
There's the crunchy person who eats only whole foods that they buy at the store, and they go to very specific health food stores, and that's all they get. Mm-hmm. And they read every label on every box of everything that they buy, but they only ever consume, they only ever buy stuff. And then the other side of crunchy is the people who are really into making and growing and doing everything on their own, using their own wool or their own oats or their own wheat or whatever, and they grow it themselves. They have little homesteads. I've seen pictures of people having these elaborate gardens on 1/4 of an acre so that they can provide specifically for themselves homegrown, toxin-free, glyphosate-free food, and I think that's a different category of crunchy than the suburban, crunchy mom who goes to the super expensive health food stores and buys something because the label says it's organic, but it's really just made by Quaker.
And that is why when people see you homesteading and growing things at home, or
they make the
your own
leap.
Meat, they assume that you are crunchy. And I think we are to an extent. We've started to make a shift.
But I think we have different reasons for doing what we do.
I think we do, but we want to be healthy, but we also understand that our health is not on this. We only have so much control over our own health and our own lifespan.
Right.
And we have that worldview, and we're not not to say that we should trash our bodies or
No,
anything,
not at all.
but we are not going to be like constantly worrying about our health.
Right.
And we have other priorities.
Biggest one is probably budget for us.
I wouldn't say that our main reason for homesteading is for the health
No.
necessarily. Maybe
No, not
mental
at all.
health, like
Oh, for sure.
like out there working in the ground and stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
like there's an element of like enjoyment in your life.
Well, I think man was made to do that. I think man...
It's good for us to work.
Right. You know, the idea that working in specifically working in soil to grow something, or working with animals to develop and grow something, there's an inherent tendency in man to do that.
The reason that I think we're homesteading and doing stuff the hard way sometimes, cooking everything from scratch and all that, is more budgetary than anything.
I think it's budgetary, and I think it's character building for our children.
Absolutely.
I think our children need to know where their food comes from, and that's a huge aspect of modern life that is missing from a vast majority of people's lives.
Yeah. And we want them to know, like, where do seeds come from and how do plants grow and, like,
And actually,
see the process.
Well, there's that, and then there's the cultivation that requires discipline, like certain plants, especially, you know, you're growing plants or whatever, certain plants don't do well unless you have the discipline to maintain them, like prune them and care for them and fertilize them and things like that. They, like on their own, they just go feral and don't do what you need them to do.
Yeah.
And so very much like livestock, like you need to kind of rein them in. And when it comes to livestock, I think it's really good for our kids to know if you're going to eat meat, something needs to die in order for that to happen. And that's a thing I think a lot of people, even adults today, dissociate with the meat that they eat.
Oh, for sure.
They can't. How many times do you see the comments that are like, "Oh, I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan, but I couldn't ever do that to an animal that I raised." Like there's a disconnect there of like somebody still has to do it to an animal they raised.
Honestly, like I would be one of those people because I'm still not quite there. When we first got married, I couldn't handle a lot of stuff. Like I didn't even want to form like a hamburger patty with my bare hands.
Yeah, but you liked
You know what
beef.
I mean? Yeah. Like it just
Which is
really
funny because you
grossed
grew
me
up
out.
with animals.
And I wouldn't want to, like I wouldn't say I'm like anti-hunting or whatever, but I was like, I just don't want to think about it too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Wouldn't you say that describes?
Yeah, I mean,
when we
to
got
the
married?
point where she wouldn't kill a wasp that was terrorizing our house. She would stick it under a jar for me to find later. She still does it, actually.
Yeah.
That's not like a thing
You're
of the past.
welcome. Little gifts for you to find.
Yeah, I love it. So as far as crunchy, like raising our own meat or any, like we're also not preppers. That's the other aspect of this that people will look at, like you're homesteading for the end of the world.
Yeah, we're not really doing that.
We're not at all. We're not preppers. I think there's a level of preparedness and knowledge that's really good for humans to have.
I think it's nice to be a little more self-sufficient.
Yeah.
But I don't think we have any, I don't think we're under any
Expectation
Yeah.
of needing to survive.
Of believing that we will be able to outlive some sort of great disaster.
Sure. Or, even barring that, I think, I don't know, we're not preparing for some giant disaster. I think the self-sufficiencies, and I think people look at preppers as like this, it's apocalypse or nothing. Whereas we're looking at it more like the power goes out for a week.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to cook on a hearth when you don't have power and to be able to provide your food when you don't have the ability. COVID hit and all the stores shut down.
Oh, don't remind me.
And so, you think about stuff like that where like you couldn't get toilet paper. I'm not saying we'd grow our own, trees and make paper out of it.
Yes, now we grow our own toilet paper.
Yes, and the toilet paper tree. You can buy them at Walmart, $39.99.
Family cloth.
Yeah. So,
You know what that
yes, I
is?
do. That's disgusting. Thank you. No, but I'm saying like we're like we want to have the knowledge to, or not that we want to have the knowledge, but it's nice to have the knowledge to be able to provide certain things for yourself in the event that you can't immediately go out and buy them.
Yeah.
Or, barring that, going out and looking for something that you can't find because everything that's available at stores is junk. Mm-hmm. So you end up, I mean, even just looking at like our furniture, like we couldn't find a table that fit our room, so we had to make it. Mm-hmm. You know, things like that where it's like, I would love to have, you know, einkorn wheat bread, but the reality is you can't go down to Walmart and buy it.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things, like if you want it, you got to make it yourself.
Yeah. So I'd say we're like in a sort of a shift towards crunchiness. Like, and what I mean by that is in the past few years, we have switched to like, so in our old house, we had a microwave. And I would like microwave food in plastic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I started feeling weird about that. And then we switched totally to glass food storage with the lids that go on and snap on.
I personally don't. I feel like we don't have a microwave in our new house. And I feel like it's not because... So my associate's degree was in engineering. So I kind of have this basic level of... My other degrees are not, but
I think I know what you're going to say.
Basic level of engineering knowledge to look at a microwave and be like, okay, yes, it's emitting high energy radio waves, but they're actually not even as the frequency isn't even as high as
I'm
light from the
microwave
sun.
suspicious. I don't have anything to back it up.
Right.
I just don't feel right about it.
Right. I think any high energy electromagnetic wave is probably not great for you.
But regardless of the microwave itself, microwaving plastic is a bad idea.
But the other thing when we first looked at our kitchen after we had finished building it, the real practical thing was a microwave's going to look so stupid in here.
Dumb.
So we didn't get one. And so I'm like, I don't miss it after a while.
No.
You don't really miss things like that. The other thing we don't have in our new house, and I don't think there's any, like, we don't have any crunchy reason for doing it, but we don't have a coffee maker anymore. And I think that was budgetarily.
No, that was also crunchy because it is hot water going through plastic. It's the microplastics.
Okay.
But it also was ugly, and the percolator tastes better.
Percolator always tastes
better. Not the percolator itself, but the coffee that it makes tastes better.
Yeah, I mean, and our percolator produces coffee at almost the same speed as a standard coffee maker.
Well, we would always percolate coffee when we were camping, and I'd always be like, this coffee is so good. Yeah. And then at home, we'd not have one.
Yeah, and the thing is realistically, if you want really good coffee, a percolator is like $23.
It's so cheap.
It's so cheap to make coffee.
It's just as quick as the drip one.
Yeah, and actually, the great thing about it is, unlike the drip one, it doesn't slow down over time.
The only issue is that the last sip will be full of grounds.
Yeah, but we've got a little tea strainer that
you can pour it through
a little stainless steel non-microplastic.
And we actually switched out the little topper thing. It was plastic, and we switched it with a glass one.
But that wasn't because we thought it was plastic.
No, it was.
So the glass ones are great. You have to keep them loose. Little fun tip there. If you tighten them down too much, they will crack from the heat.
The other thing that we switched was our nonstick pans. We
did get rid of Teflon pans.
And it's actually funny how long it took me to realize that was a bad idea, because we used to have like a bird that lived near the kitchen, and I would always be concerned that he would die from the fumes of the Teflon, because if you burn Teflon, it'll kill your bird. That's a thing. But I never stopped to think, if it could kill a bird, maybe it's bad for me.
Right, but the other thing I always think about is, we got rid of our Teflon pans. How many cookie sheets do we have?
I have a cast iron cookie sheet. And I use that most of the time.
A cast iron cookie sheet.
If you need multiple cookie sheets, then I'll use one of the other ones. But I always spring for the cast iron.
Yeah, I mean,
anyway,
really...
we switched over to cast iron, and I actually got really into cast iron, which is my other old man quality. That cast iron in World War II. That's how I'm like an old man.
Yeah, and cast iron, I know there's going to be so many people, I think we brought this up before, that are like, do you check your cast iron for lead?
Listen.
We don't actually...
My grandfather, John Cast,
People are going to be confused by that.
invented cast iron.
As a point of reference, I'm pretty sure cast iron was invented like long before the 18th century, so your grandfather lived a long, long time if he was still your grandfather.
Yeah, wonderful man.
Anyway, we use cast iron that is lead-free, people. Just in case anyone wanted to question that, it is lead-free.
Okay.
And we use copper a lot, tinned copper. Don't cook anything in untinned copper because it will absorb the copper. And copper in
Isn't
small...
copper kind of good for you?
No.
It's bad for you?
Ingesting copper, how many nutrition labels do you see that have Cu as an option of your daily dose? Not many.
I have no idea.
Not many, yeah. Copper probably in minute quantities is okay. Large quantities of copper are not good for you.
Okay.
They're great for goats, though. Apparently goats need some copper.
Sheep need copper to live.
Yeah, they need some copper. I don't know what the difference is, but they're a ruminant and we're not. So,
Yes.
copper that doesn't have tin, if you're Brook and Bramble Farm fun tip, look for copper that's tinned, and you can get antique copper that's tinned for relatively cheap usually.
You can at the flea market,
Yeah.
which we talked about
So crunchy.
previously.
So here's the other crunchy, the great thing, and I know the people who have copper pans already know this. Tin is an absolutely, almost completely inert metal, and so it doesn't come off in your food. And even if you were to ingest tin, it is totally inert, so it would just pass through your body and have zero effect on you.
No biggie.
No biggie. So tin is an excellent... that's why they tin coppers, because tin is totally inert. It's almost like silver, except it's more inert than silver.
More inert.
Yeah, so it actually doesn't react with anything, and so you can cook anything in a tin pan, which is awesome. And copper is one of the most heat-conductive metals. So there's really all kinds of amazing things that crunchy people are kind of reinventing.
Is that I don't love cleaning the copper pans.
Yeah, you can't run them
go
through
in
the dishwasher.
And they stuff does stick to them, but if you soak them, they're not bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, we started growing our food and eating less processed food. I wouldn't say we ate a ton of processed food before, but we definitely were like, let's get I don't know, Stouffer's mac and cheese or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't like every night or even every week.
No, but to be fair too, we still buy generic
a lot more
flour now though.
Pizza or
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how we used to eat.
Yeah, we ate we never ate we weren't like TV dinner people.
Yeah.
We never ate and that's another side conversation all by itself. People who are afraid to cook for themselves, let's be real here, cooking for yourself is not difficult.
Well, it could be daunting if you've never done it.
Well, but I mean, it's not...
I've been cooking
I should correct
for a
myself.
family since I was 9. So.
Cooking an edible food is simple. It's not necessarily easy, but it's simple. And so you don't need to make super gourmet Italian food every time you cook. But literally you can cook for yourself, save a lot of money, and eat healthier than if you just ordered out or ate easy to go frozen dinners all the time. Make your own frozen dinners.
Make your own frozen dinner.
Yeah, just don't nuke them in the microwave.
Okay. I was going to talk about how I feel like we both kind of naturally grew up a little bit crunchy. I wouldn't say our parents were hippies.
No, mine definitely
in any
were
way.
not. My parents were anti-hippies.
Okay, so maybe not so much the diet, because I know, but our parents both were always cooking from
They
scratch.
were concerned about health, I think, and they were going on.
I'm saying, not even thinking too much about being healthy. They were cook from scratch moms.
Yeah.
They didn't every night.
Right, they did not. They didn't.
You guys were always out to eat. Or
no,
always at
once every
fast
2
food.
weeks we got to go to Ponderosa, which no longer exists, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
But every 2 weeks we got to go to Ponderosa or some other restaurant when we went shopping. That was the only time we went out to eat.
That's fun. That's kind of like our Cumbies trip.
Yeah. So
That's what our kids are gonna remember.
yeah. So anyone who doesn't know, Cumberland Farms is a gas station. And it's Disney World for our kids.
We take our kids there every 2 weeks, and they get to pick out a little treat.
Yeah, it's Disney World for our kids.
They're going to remember it forever. It's like the best.
Yeah, they will always think Cumberland Farms is the apex of human existence.
I love that for them.
Yeah.
I enjoy it too.
It is fun. It's fun to take them all in there, and they get really excited about gas station food.
But I think, personally, I've always made really good choices.
In general, I didn't smoke.
Okay, no, I never smoked.
That's true.
I've never done
drugs.
Never done the drugs.
Never done those drugs. Yep.
No, but even 90. If you were raised in the 90s, if you were a girl raised in the 90s, you would go to the mall, and you would go to Bath and Body Works, and you would load up on the fragrances. And, I remember this specific, it was called, a lip plumper. And I tried it once, because my friends were getting it.
Did you, inject it in your lips?
No, it's like a lip gloss, but you could feel it, tingling.
Yeah.
I don't know what must have been in that.
Probably some sort of drugs.
Okay, but
so you said you've never done drugs, but now you have.
Oh, man, you're right.
Now you know.
I did that.
It's probably opiates.
Okay, but my point is that I don't like fragrances. I just don't like smells. I
don't like smelling things, people.
If I had a choice between smelling something or not smelling something, I would rather just not smell.
Even a fresh spring day?
Nature is not, that doesn't count. I'm talking about a man-made
artificial
smell.
Fragrances. Okay.
If someone is even doing essential oil diffuser or something.
Yeah.
I don't want to smell it.
The worst, though, is when people are unaware of the amount of fragrance they are wearing.
Perfumes.
And you're basically being gassed when you go near them.
I've never worn perfume.
Yeah.
I've never been into that.
Yeah.
And I think that alone has probably lowered my toxin count.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. We just got, what was the detergent? Who makes that you just got?
Pronounce,
yeah.
Yeah, we're not. Yep. They're not sponsoring this episode.
They're not sponsoring this episode, but the interesting thing is they did do an affiliate thing with us. But the interesting thing is on the back of their detergent, they have a little quote that just says, "The FDA has approved over 8 million chemicals for use in products, only 1% of which have been tested on humans." Thank you for the whistle. But that's an interesting factoid if you think about the number of chemicals that are in things that you don't. Now, I'm not anti-chemical if the chemical itself is beneficial.
You can't be anti-chemical because aren't they?
Everything is chemicals.
Yeah.
Water is a chemical.
Yeah.
But people will freak out about chlorine, but then think it's fine to use table salt, which is half chlorine.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That I think
we're not anti the periodic table of elements.
No, we're not at all. In fact, I think a lot of them are very useful.
Yeah, oxygen. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm a fan of iron, right? You use steel to build all
iron.
Kinds of amazing things.
Blackstrap molasses is high in iron.
Thank you. And sugar, C6H12O6. It's got all the components. Carbon,
soda.
Hydrogen, and oxygen.
Sorry, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Soda. I've also never liked soda.
Thank you for reining us back in.
You're welcome.
From the periodic table of elements.
Soda
is not a periodic table of elements element.
If someone said I had to choose between a fat soda and a diet soda, I would choose the fat one, but I don't like either of them. But diet soda's super gross.
Okay.
If you drink diet soda, I would say
choose your words carefully.
I don't know. What should I say? Nothing. Chris likes diet soda.
I drink diet soda periodically.
Yeah.
A lot less than I used to.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I drink more water and I drink more tea. Yeah. I like tea. But I can totally get behind that because, not only just the color and the flavor and all that stuff is all artificial. The fact that it's carbonated water, people don't realize this. Adding carbon dioxide to water increases its dissolved carbon dioxide. It makes water into an acid.
Yeah.
People don't realize that, but it actually lowers the pH of water so that now it's an acid. So that's why people who drink tons and tons of soda tend to get ulcers eventually. Because the acid level in their stomach is so high from drinking that level of carbonated beverage. So, and that's why seltzer is not amazing to keep, people think like seltzer is a healthier alternative to soda, but it actually has even more carbon dioxide in it. Anyway, we've gone off the rails again.
No, that's interesting to know.
So it has more carbon dioxide in it, so it's more acidic than even regular soda.
I've also never been into seltzer, so
I think there's something nice about a carbonated beverage.
Like I said, I just make such great choices.
Well, and the other thing is,
you know what my best choice I ever made was? It was you.
Thank you. This is.
What were you going to say?
I don't know where that was going.
Okay, so I was also going to say for babies, do you know where I'm going with this?
They're tiny and cute.
Yeah. Formula, it has a lot of
yeah.
junky stuff in it they're finding lately.
Yeah, I mean, they can't just fill an entire bottle full of nutrients. They've got to add fluff.
Well, here's why I say that we're like more budget-minded than crunchy-minded, but it ends up making us make a few more crunchy choices. Is like when we had our first baby, I didn't want to buy formula because it was so expensive.
Oh my goodness, it's ridiculous.
Like we didn't have a lot of money at that time, and I was like determined. Like it was really hard to breastfeed her, but I was like, I'm sorry, I just can't buy formula.
We can't. It was too expensive.
Like we literally just couldn't. I was like, I gotta push through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it
ended
hurt
up
so
working
bad
out
for 6 weeks, but then it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out, and there are people who can't nurse their babies, and they have no option.
That's also a thing which we should be thankful for formula, of course.
Yeah, like if you don't have the option, formula's obviously...
Yeah, it'll save your baby's life.
Right.
What we're talking about.
Yeah, so...
I don't want to start getting into like what's best for your baby, because
Right, we don't know.
We don't know what's best for your baby.
Right,
but
so we're not going to...
The crunchy option would be usually the breast milk.
Yeah, and I think they have crunchy versions of...
I think they're coming out with some better options.
Yeah, I think Infamil is the one that's full of, all the junk, but you can get better options for baby formula.
Okay, what's a non-crunchy thing? I thought this would be fun to talk about. What's a non-crunchy thing that you will never give up?
Do you want just one?
Give me a list, if you want.
A list of non-crunchy things I will never give up.
Your top 3.
My top 3...
I'm going to say paper towels for me.
Are they... I didn't know paper towels
are bad for you. They are like made with something.
Yeah, it's hard for me to narrow it down to just 3 things
like
that I'll never
Oreos?
get. Oreos are a good one. Yep. Yeah, probably never going to totally give up Oreos. Now, the Oreos thing isn't because they're... I wouldn't stop eating them because they're not crunchy. I would stop eating them because they make you gain weight like nobody's business, because each one has like 80 calories.
They are caloric.
Actually, top tip, if you're stuck in the woods, you better have packed some Oreos, because man, they'll keep you alive and give you energy for days.
Will they? Or will they make you like just have a sugar?
No, they're all sugar is one of the most amazing things. If you're lost in the woods, it will give you energy when you have none.
See, when I have sugar on an empty stomach, I'm useless.
That's because you haven't been hiking 15 miles
I'll
a
just
day.
like pass out.
See what happens? Yeah, right. You're jittery because you have no way to expend that energy. If you are lost in the woods and trying to survive, and you're cold and you need to move, that energy that turns into jitteriness when you're not moving around becomes energy to walk and do things you need to do.
I don't know.
Calories are calories. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Oreos, put them in your survival pack today. That's why when you look up survival food, it's all sugar. Because sugar keeps you... That's why they used... You just told me you were a big World War II
yes,
fan.
I know. They had chocolate bars
They had huge chocolate bars with them.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I know all the World War II facts.
That was issued as energy in the event you couldn't get food. You'd eat your chocolate bar, and that would keep you going long enough until you could get some more... I wouldn't say living on chocolate would be an amazing thing.
No, that's what I'm hearing right now, is that we can live on chocolate.
Yeah. I mean, really, that's another thing I probably would never give up. Is a good chocolate bar, like a Three Musketeers bar.
Oh,
like
okay.
That's hard to give up. Like,
you like the fast break bars.
I do like fast break bars. They're so good. Yeah, I mean, I probably almost could live on fast break bars. I'm not gonna lie. I would get sick, actually. There's no question. I would definitely get sick. But a good fast break bar periodically is very good.
Okay.
And it's like a break from protein.
What is a swap that you would like to do to be a little healthier? Can you think of any?
I want to grow our own wheat.
I'd like to do that too. Yeah, you've been thinking about that,
I
buying
have.
corn flour and stuff.
I would love to, but the problem with that is in order to do that, you have to have lots of time to, you have to prepare a field, which takes, I don't know, I'm sure there are farmers in the audience of the 4 people who will listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
There are probably farmers out there that are like, yeah, these people don't know what it takes to prepare a field.
We know what it takes.
We know what it takes.
Are living in
We're aware of the level
the
of work.
Vulcan Kuckuckschein.
Yeah, we're
That means cloud cuckoo land in German.
thank you. Yeah. We're aware of the amount of work it takes, and it's overwhelming us. That's why we haven't planted wheat.
I will say that, so we've been thinking about wheat. My swap in the past year, actually, we've always just been kind of cheap flour people, getting all-purpose Walmart, Great Value flour. I switched to unbleached.
You're so crunchy right now.
So we still get Great Value bulk flour, but it at least is unbleached. I feel like that makes a little difference.
It probably does.
I don't know.
And reality is, if we could afford a 500-pound bag of wheat berries that we could grind ourselves, we would probably do that. But
We might do that someday.
we might, but we would need a silo to store it in, and there's all this infrastructure you have to have in place to be crunchy. We don't have the infrastructure.
Maybe, yeah. We don't have the silos. So
We don't have the
can't be
silos to
crunchy.
be crunchy. I will say, though,
Where are you guys getting your silos?
the one thing I would swap in a heartbeat is store-bought meat.
For local meat. That would be great.
Well, for local meat or to
just
have
buy
another
your
cow.
own cow, yeah.
To have another cow. We had a cow that we butchered and we
Yeah.
got, 8 months worth of beef out of? And that
Yeah, it was
included
really
a huge
nice.
amount of steak.
And you could, while you're eating it, you felt really good about it.
Well, it was good meat. It tasted good, but you knew everything that cow had eaten.
Yeah, you weren't, wondering, was this cow sad in a factory somewhere?
Right.
And did they, give it a bunch of antibiotics?
Right, and we had this cow from the moment he was born until the moment he went into our freezer, and we know exactly he got no antibiotics, he got no hormones.
He was a happy boy.
He was to the point where he got really excited when you mowed around his field. He would start bucking around because he
would chase the mower.
Yeah, he would chase the mower around. He
was cute.
Yeah, he had fun. But anyway, that comes back to your kids knowing where their food comes from.
Right. 'Cause
having to.
if you buy beef at a store, you have to know that comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
Should we move into our history segment?
I don't have a history segment.
Yes, you do. You always have a history segment.
What do you want to talk about from history?
What were we just talking about earlier?
Women's suffrage.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about women's suffrage. They learned the right to vote.
Susan B. Anthony.
Susie B.
Susie B.
One of her houses in Washington County, New York.
True. And she didn't want men to drink.
Right, which turned into prohibition, which was an ingenious idea. That's my history now.
Choice. Well, I guess that's all for now. Any parting words?
Not really.
Okay.